So what could such experience by foreign coaches be in the Saudi Football League? What could they bring back to their professional communities about their experience and about the football of Saudi Arabia? Let us bring in our panel discussion and join in now. And where is he? Here we go. Jorge Simao is joining us from Al-Majma'a, and he is currently managing Al-Fayha Football Club. And also, where is he? Here we go. And we see here also Yannick Ferrera. He is managing Al-Fath Football Club, and he's from Belgium. Jorge Simao is from Portugal, but they are now both in Saudi Arabia. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So George, I can start with you. So let me just have, maybe the mic is not working there. So maybe you can unmute. Okay, we hear okay. George now.
Okay.
So George, thank you both of you for joining us. First, let us agree on something. So you are talking about your experience. In the meantime, if you can represent the foreign coaches community, how they look at such experience in Saudi football. So let us agree on that.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, George, so what made you seeking experience in foreign countries? And how did you receive an offer from Saudi Arabia? And how did you decide to go for this offer?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Abdul, for your invitation, because it's really nice to be here in my first online experience, being interviewed in my first online experience. So it's for me a big challenge also.
Challenging for me as well, so don't worry. You can see me a little bit nervous at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, that's normal, I believe.
Okay.
Well, I could say that the Saudi interest in my contribution started 2 or 3 years before, because since then I usually got some approaches by some agents that talk me about some possibilities in the Middle East market.
Mm-hmm.
I must confess that I never looked at that possibility as a real possibility. But times begin to change when I saw indeed the capacity to recruit big coaches in Europe to come to Saudi. And for example, the last 2 Portuguese coaches who win the title, Jorge Jesus and Rui Vitória, they incredibly they come to Saudi in the last 2 seasons. So I think that was a turning point to how we Portuguese coaches looked at the Saudi league. So after that, of course, we were more enthusiastic about seeing and watching and what were happening in Saudi league. And at some point, I decided, because I wanted to get my first international experience, and I wanted to try the Saudi league. It was just simple as that.
So what about you, Yannick? It's not your first time to be in Saudi. So you were an assistant coach back in 2010 or 11.
Yes.
So what made you coming to Saudi? How did you decide to come back to Saudi?
Yeah. First of all, hello Abdul, thank you, and Jorge. I saw you, I think, a few months ago. You beat me, so not a great memory. But
by the way, you should have been facing each other 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
Next match.
The match cancelled. Yeah,
maybe next match the league continues. But happy to be here and happy to see you again. Yes, I've been here eight years ago as one of the assistants in Al Shabab club. We won the title that year. It was a great season, no loss, great memories. But I must say that the competition and the land have changed very much compared to 8 years ago. There is more professionalism, better facilities, better players, better level, also not only from the non-Saudi, but also from the Saudi players themselves. I think the games are difficult to win here. So I'm really happy to be here actually. And yeah, why am I here and not in Europe? I've had an experience in 5 different clubs as a head coach in Belgium, being successful in some of them, less successful in others. And I felt that it was maybe the moment for me to grow and to go abroad. So at my young age, I'm only 39. I think it's good to have that experience, to discover another culture, another mentality, another way of working. And I must say that I'm very happy here.
And we are happy to have both of you live on the stream. So I remind our viewers, if you can, or if you like to send your questions, comments on the box on YouTube, so we can display them and we can take them and make comments, and we can argue with each other. No problem with that. Just if Jorge and Yannick, if you like to argue with each other, just fight each other on the screen. No problem.
No problem. I think we are very calm coaches compared to some other ones. We are very calm on the line, and we're gonna be calm here, I think.
No, Jorge got some yellow cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, last match I was suspended by 4 yellow cards.
No,
I must agree. I'm not so calm with that, especially during the matches. But I must agree.
Yeah, it's just, so you told us about your story, how you received and you decided to come to Saudi. So, but in the meanwhile, if you have offers from a European league and you have from the Saudi, so which one would you decide to go with?
The question is for me, Abu.
So both of you. So pick the mic and go ahead.
Let's start, Jorge. Let's start. You can start.
Okay. I think the question cannot we cannot put the question just simple as that, because there are a lot of points of analysis in when we decide our next step. I enjoyed a lot of staying here this season, despite the season is not even yet, but until now, because I liked a lot the city, Majma. I like even more the people on the club, because it was a huge surprise, the warmth that all the people, especially the people on the club and all the citizens from Majma, the warmth that they welcome us here, and they felt us, and I'm speaking about us because me and my technical staff, they make us feel real in home, at home. So it was a very big surprise for me, because in Europe or before coming to Saudi, the expectation perhaps it was not so good as the reality shows to us. So that was one point. The second point is, and now I think I could say this because no one will be upset with me. I am in the negotiation process to renew my contract to the next season, because I think there's a path to do in this club and in the Saudi League. I think we have a perfect match between the coach and the people, the board on the club, and the people from Majma. I believe that, and I believe that there's something to do in this club to grow to another, to take one more step in the league. So I'm very enthusiastic about the idea of renewing my contract here, because what I want to say is it was a surprise what I lived here in this season.
So in terms of life experience and the level of football, you mean both of them, or just because you explained about the life experience?
Yes, both of them, because I totally agree with Yannick. I didn't know the league 5 or 10 years ago. I didn't know the level about the league 10 years ago or 5 years ago, even so. But now I find the league very competitive. The organization of the Saudi league is very good. I must say that. The facilities, the stadiums are good. And the level of the teams, because I speak a lot with people who played here last season, and they say that year by year, it's more difficult to win matches because they're more fighting between all the teams, more competitiveness, more equality between the teams. Of course, this should be because Saudi Arabia has a capacity to recruit good players, but also I'm talking about the Saudi players because it was a complete surprise, the level, most of all, the technical level about the Saudi players. Because they are good, technically good players. And I think what I missed most is our stadiums with more capacity, with more full stadiums. This is what I'm talking about. Because even when we play at home, we have, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 people. But I never went to a stadium with 60,000 people, for example. So I miss that. And of course, from one point is good, but I miss also that the pressure from the media.
You miss the pressure of the media. So media exposure is one of the things that we are going to talk about.
Yeah.
So get back to Yannick. So Yannick, how would you address the question that I asked? Maybe he did not address. Did not address it really. So if you have two offers, one from a European offer and the Saudi offer, how can you compare them and you decide, you make the right decision?
You know, it's different. It's different because we're in Europe, like in Chelsea or in a small club in the bottom club of the first division in Belgium, where I come from. So it's very different. Europe is not the same everywhere. Like the possibilities you have here in Al Fateh, for example, are way bigger than the possibilities you have in a small club of the Belgian Pro League, for example, in terms of finances, in terms of material, in terms of facilities. There are way more possibilities here than there. So for that, of course, it's good to be here. But honestly, I joined a bit Jorge with what I'm going to say is that when I signed here in October, I was thinking, okay, you know what? 8 months, I'm going there on a mission, and then I go back to my place in Europe. And after the first contacts here, after a few days already, and after a few weeks, I realized how warm the people of the club are, and how much love they have for football, and how much respect they have for us as persons and as football specialists. And I really feel good here. Just to give you an example, I've been in some teams, like when you score a goal on the bench, or you do like this, you know, you just shake hands. Here, it's like big hugs, and people really mean it. You know, when they hug you, they mean it with a lot of love, and I really love that. I really like that the fact that people are warm, that people really feel emotions and dare to show their emotions. I'm very close to that. So for those reasons, I really feel good here.
So in terms of branding and reputation, how your colleagues or coaching communities or football communities in Europe, around the world, how they see coaches who go to Saudi Arabia to sign contracts?
Yannick, now you.
Sure, I start now. I think that where I come from, most people see Saudi Arabia as oh yeah, you just go there to play in the sand and to earn big money. People see it like that mostly. But these are people who don't know what we are doing here, who don't know the good conditions we are working in, who don't know the fact that the country and the football are really growing fast here. The people don't know that. So for the moment, people don't realize how good this league is. Maybe the fact that Al Hilal won the Asian Champions League will help people to realize that Saudi has a good level. Maybe the fact that big names are coming here, like in Hilal, they have Jovinko, they have Gomis. I think that Banega signed already for next season for Al Shabab. So that shows that those players, they could go to China, for example, they could go to Qatar, but still they come here. And that's not only because of the money, it's also because there is still something to play for. There is still a good level. There are competitive games.
But maybe they are comparing us to China and Qatar, for example, the same level. Because China had been like many years they're recruiting with big salaries, but we don't see them playing.
Yeah, sure. And I think that this competition is pretty exposed. I mean, I'm not bragging by saying that the Saudi league is the best league of the Middle East. The level is really, really good here, and compared to a lot of to a lot of countries, it's very good here. Just people don't know it yet, but it's growing, and the knowledge of the people will also grow, I think.
So what do you think, George? How coach communities in Europe, around the world, look for coaches who go to Saudi Arabia to coach and to train?
Well, first of all, I agree what was said by Yannick, because I think there's a big difference between what people think about Saudi League in Europe and what is reality. First point. And I think that is because the difficulty of the language, the translation from Arabic to English and vice versa. I think it's very difficult to communicate between Arabic people and English people. First of all, because if this communication will be much more fluid, much more easy, perhaps it will be much more interesting for the European people to see what's happening here in Saudi. And the fact that Saudi League can now recruit big coaches and big players from Europe, and not only for Europe but all the world, it's a point that makes all the people follow their performance. And of course, there are more people seeing what's happening here in Saudi. So I think it's a good point to analyze. And I think there's more chances, more people trying to open this market here in the Middle East, especially in Saudi Arabia, because I agree totally with Yannick Ferrera there when he says that perhaps Saudi League is the best league, not only on the Middle East, but I risk to say in Asia, because the Champions League, the Asia Champions League is a Saudi team. So I think the future will be better for this competition here in Saudi.
Do you think a Saudi team winning Champions League, playing in the World Cup, promote you as a foreign coaches to your communities abroad?
I think that people will realize, oh yeah, they're not so bad actually, and people don't go there only to play in the sand. People go there to be performant, to work hard, and to achieve goals and to win titles. So I think that when people will see Al Hilal at the clubs World Cup, they will realize, okay, Saudi Arabia not bad at all. And when they will see the names that they have in the team and the level of those players, they will think, yeah, really good.
So we are in a marketing association, so let us stick with the marketing things. About the pricing, I have talked to one of the coaches and his agents like time ago, and he said, okay, if my coach won't come to Saudi Arabia, he should have double salary. Why did he say that?
You want to start, George?
No, you please.
No, I think that it's because many people don't know that this country is really changing, and they don't realize that this country is getting more and more open, and they think, okay, Dubai open, free, Saudi closed. That's what people think, and therefore they think if an agent says my coach is going to Saudi, he's got to earn double, because he thinks he's going to go there, he's going to be bored. There is only football, and so he must be paid more.
Okay. So the pricing is for the lifestyle. You mean?
I think that people ask much money because of that, but many people don't realize that you can have a good life here. And you can go to the restaurant. You can invite people. I mean, not now because it's lockdown, but you can go you can do stuff here, and the country is more and more open. I remember 8 years ago, a girlfriend could not come. Now a girlfriend can come. You can have a visa in 5 minutes online, and you don't have to be the wife of or the mother of, and you can come. So the country is really more open than before.
So do you agree, George, with him? So because of the restrictions that they have in mind,
yes,
that's why the price is different.
Of course, I do agree with all that have been said, but most of all, I think the big difference is about the taxes. Because here we don't pay taxes. In Portugal, for example, we are paying around 50% of taxes. So if here in Saudi, I will pay 50% of taxes. Perhaps the money will not be so considerable as that. So I think that's a big difference here in Saudi.
So I will display some comments. So let us start with the funny one. So that's for Yannick. Can you see this?
I love you. Yeah. But I know him. I know Veloso. I know him.
So that's why. So yeah. So we have some other questions. I would rather to answer this later, but he said here, Mr. Wasim, he said, if Saudi players are good, as you said, why can't see them play in Europe?
Yannick?
I thought. Okay, so like Jorge said before, the technical level of the Saudi players is really good. I think what the most Saudi players lack to play in Europe and to be performant in Europe is a certain discipline on the pitch and off the pitch. It's a certain work ethic, because you can have talent, but you need also that a certain work ethic, like repeating the efforts every day, constantly, coming to the training on time every day, eating properly, sleeping properly. I think it's a bit that on that point, the Saudi players could improve a lot on that point. And if, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Saudi players improving on those points, mostly out of the pitch, then I think you can see Saudi players playing at a good level in Europe. But this is a very important point that has to be improved.
But I remember your George. I remember your first press conference when Al Fayha introduced you, and you said, "I want to work on Saudi local players." Could you manage that?
First of all, I agree totally what Yannick said about the main points that the generally of the Saudi players should improve. But even so, I must add that Saudi players, they don't want to play in Europe, of course, generally, because they are happy to play here. Even if they play in the good teams, their dream is to play in the bigger team and play for the national team. That is the main ambition for the goal of the Saudi players. And they think this way because they feel comfortable here. They earn a lot of money comparing to the average of the Saudi people. And they don't want to play in, even though they like to see Liverpool, Barcelona, or the bigger teams in Europe, they like to follow them. But if you ask them, do we want to play in Liverpool? Perhaps not. They prefer, I will play in the Hilal or Nasser, or play the National League and win the Asia Champions League. I think this is the typical response for the Saudi players.
They are not ambitious enough to go to Europe.
It's not about ambitious. I think it's not about the ambition. Even the foreigner players who are here, good players, at top level players who are playing here in Saudi League, if you ask them, do you want to return to Europe? I think most of them will say, because it's a very comfortable life, because they play for high goals here, for the Asia Champions League. They are like gods to the average people, to the fans, and they earn a lot of money. Their social status is incredibly high. So why they should think to change to another uncomfortable environment and fight to win the position
to
again.
improve their career, to learn the new stuff. Why they are not willing to do that?
Because they think that they play at the better teams that they could play. They earn the more money that they could imagine, and they have a status like a superstar. So
and don't forget also, if they have to live here, they will leave their families maybe, and not everyone wants to leave his family, and it's a totally other way of living. When you think about only the prayer, for example, to take that example, people don't stop activities to pray in Europe, or people don't adapt the time of the activities to the prayer time. Here, yes, so it's a total other culture, and I can understand that that Saudi players feel comfortable and feel good here. Like you have some European players coming here and not feeling good here. So I mean, it's not a lack of ambition. It's more, you've been used to it your whole life, and you feel good into that. So you earn good money. You're a star. Why changing?
Why? Another question. Why do we see European foreign coaches who regret to come to Saudi Arabia?
sorry.
So we saw some coaches. They said, "Oh, you know what? We regret coming to Saudi. We had the experience and we regret that." So, frankly, why did they say that, George?
Well, I don't know. I think they are the right person to answer that question. I don't know about that. Sorry.
But
Yannick?
maybe one of the points is that maybe they came here with the wrong intentions. Maybe they came here like some players come here. Oh, I'm just going to go on vacation, being in the compound, swimming pool.
So Yannick, we missed the connection with Yannick. Once you come back, we will have you back to the screen. George, can you hear me?
But yeah, I can hear you. Abdul, I must add this to not answer directly to your question, but I think it's very important to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a small city in Saudi, Majma'a, and I feel that I was very lucky to come, and my first experience here in Saudi is in this city, because I usually say that I live among the Arab people. And if I lived in Riyadh, for example, in a compound, it was like living in a bubble, because I didn't have access to the Arabian people, because I live in a compound. All my day was with foreigner people. I went to the club, friend the players, and come to the compound. So I didn't have the possibility to know how the Arabic people live. So I feel proud to my first experience being in a small city like Majma'a.
I'm sure both of you planned for your career ahead. I was talking to a friend of mine who's an official in the health sector, and he said nurses, doctors from foreign countries, they just love the contract in Saudi Arabia, because one of the main reasons, because being in Saudi will improve their CVs, so they can go to Canada and they can go to the United States, and they can live there and get contracts and residency. So that's in the health sector. What about you guys? Do you think this is the case? Wouldn't be the case in Saudi with the football? Would being in Saudi boost your CV?
I think that working in Saudi and doing good things in the Saudi league opens you other markets in the region, like maybe the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, maybe other teams in Asia like China or Japan. But honestly, we are lucky here to be in the best league. I said of the Middle East. Jorge said of Asia. Is probably right. So we have the luck to be here already in the best league of the region. So yeah, I don't think that you have to come through Saudi to go to the MLS, for example. But you have to go through Saudi if you want to go to the Emirates or to Qatar or stuff. Then the best place to be is Saudi, because Saudi is good on the CV because of the quality of the league.
So do you agree, George? So Saudi is a gate to the Middle East, not to Europe?
Well, my point is clear about that question. I think generally coaches in Europe, when they think to leave Europe and try another leagues, they are thinking about most of all in three different leagues: Saudi Arabia, China, or MLS. I think these are the three bigger challenging from a coach who thinks about leaving Europe.
Or Mexico.
But it's okay. But it's Central America. But it's okay. Mexico, yeah. But because other countries, they are not with the level, with a competitive level that could resemble the Europe League, the European leagues. So even if one coach comes to one of these leagues, okay, it will be for me because it requires a lot of adaptation. It was a painful process for me to adapt to this culture, to the Islamic culture. So it was really painful for me. I say painful because some days I arrive my home and think, what's happening here? It's really a challenge for me. And survive one season here in Saudi Arabia, I think it's a very good season because it's not easy to survive in these environments, you know.
I will show you some screenshots, statements about labeling coaches in Saudi, and if you agree or disagree with that, and how you receive such statements by presidents of club. Let me just break up these things. Here we go. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. This is Al Faisali, president. He said one day, "I wish we did not change from the European coaching to the Brazilian." That's what he said. Another one. Just a second. Let me bring him back. Another statement that happened time ago took place. Okay, and this is from a Shabab president. What he said: "I will not hire non-EU coach again," after he sacked one of the Latino coach, with full respect, of course, but this is what we show here. And also we have the former president of Al-Wahda. This is his picture. And he said one day, "I believe European coaches are better for our club." Get back to the screen. And I like to ask you guys, so how do you receive such statements as coaches from Europe? Or first of all, do you agree we have just only two labels in Saudi: European coaches or European coaching and Latino coaching? Are you comfortable with such category?
I think that many things are said in football in emotional moments. So I mean, and a coach is always as good as his last result. So if a European coach is sacked from a club, then the president maybe wants to change and to go the South American way. If a South American coach is sacked, then the president maybe wants to change and go the European way. So now maybe you have some clubs with a certain philosophy that matches better the European way. And then you have also clubs with a certain philosophy who match better the South American way. But I would not put any nationality on football or on coaches. Like, we try to do our best in function of our experience, in function of our past. and we do our best. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's less good. At the end of the day, we have to rely on the players. We try to inspire them, but they do the job on the field.
So, George, you saw the statements that I wrote. So how do you receive them, and what do you think?
Well, I think that we cannot say the Portuguese coaches are like that, the Spanish coaches are like that. It's impossible to say something like that. I like to say, because perhaps Portugal is a small country with a lot of successful coaches in all planet, but we are not the same. We are not all equals. It's like looking at the player, looking at his age. So with 30 years now, he is a mature player. Now he's and if we had a 18 years old player, no, he's too young, he cannot play. It's nothing about that. We are talking about the capacities and the leadership style and the playing style. What we should evaluate in a coach when we want to hire him. So this is what he should look, not about the nationality. Oh, he's a Portuguese guy, he's good. No, he's an Algerian guy, not good. It's not like that. What are we looking for in a coach? This is the right question.
So this is labeling. So this is the matter of labeling, maybe, if we can say. So here is another question from Wasim. He's really, I'm happy with Wasim. He's good guy. He's active with us, with other. So he said, do you have long-term strategy with your clubs, or just finishing the contract and find a better job?
I will let Jorge answer first, because he's in full negotiations. So he must have a long-term plan.
So that answered the question, because if this negotiation reach a good ending, I will do it. I am in a mood to do it, because I believe that I can help, I can contribute to put this club in another level of the Saudi League. Because I think we are growing. I think we are creating the stability to this team, to this club, to go to take another step in the Saudi League.
So you have a project then in mind?
I don't want to call it project, because project in football, it's not a nice word.
Okay.
It's not a nice word, but I have a dream, and I think the people in the club, they share my dream.
That's good. So Yannick, would you like to answer that, or?
Well, I think that having ideas on long term depends also on the length of your contract. Like when I signed here for in October until the end of May, so till the end of the season, and when you arrive in a team that has 1 point out of 6 games, you think about only one thing, is winning games to survive. But of course, if they decide tomorrow, for example, that the league is cancelled and that we are still in the Pro League, in the Saudi Pro League next season, then I have a lot of ideas. I'm working on it now since 1 month that we are in lockdown. I'm working on a lot of ideas that we could establish here in the club, because we have the possibilities, the facilities for it, the money for it. So yes, I have a lot of ideas, but the thing is, like, you can only develop those ideas in the time, and for time, of course, you need a contract of maybe minimum 2 years, and then you need to have like a club, people above you sharing the same dream, sharing the same vision, sharing the same philosophy. Once you have that, once everyone wants to go in the same direction, then it's easy to perform.
I just noticed that our logo is exactly like the color of Al-Fayha, George. So you have just mentioned, we said that we are going to talk about the media exposure. Are you happy with the media exposure? Does that help you to introduce yourself more to the market?
About the media exposure here in Saudi?
Yes.
Well, for me, it's completely comfortable, the media exposure here in Saudi, because I'm used to, in Europe, to have much more solicitations to the press. We have previews the match, our 1 day, 2 days before the match, our press conference. We have the flash interview. You have the after the match conference. We have 3 diary newspapers in Portugal. We have all days sport programs debating the actuality of the football. So here in Saudi, I think the situation. Point number 1, I don't understand Arabic. Point number 2, I don't have press conferences. I don't have media all time trying to get us some interviews, some images, some whatever. So it's much more relaxing in that point.
Mm. So Yannick, are you happy with the media exposure?
I think if we were coaches of one of the top 5, top 6 clubs, we would have, I think, before every game press conference, after every game press conference, because people care about Hilal, Al Nassr, Ittihad, and some other clubs. People don't really care. I mean, yes, people around Majma and around Al Hassa, they care about our clubs. But most of the people are Hilal fans, Nasser fans, or Ittihad fans. So therefore, we have less exposure. I just realized a few weeks ago when we had when we beat Al Ahly and Al Wahda 2 games in a row. Then I had a bit of media exposure because it comes with the wins. Like if you are the coach of Al Hilal, Al Nassr, Al Ittihad, you win, you don't win, you're exposed because everyone speaks about those clubs. In our case, we are lower in the ranking. We have to win games and to do great things to be exposed.
Okay, so but the situation, George, this situation that doesn't seem helping you to introduce yourself to the market and back to Europe and Portugal.
Sorry, Abdul.
Yeah, I mean, like the lack of media exposure doesn't seem helping you to introduce you to the market in the Middle East to back to Europe again, right?
Well, because I believe I don't have that goal, that clear goal to go to Europe. Because if I wanted to go to Europe, I would go to Europe. First point. Second point, I think it's not about the media exposure, because what talks more, and I like to think this way, it's our results. What are we going to achieve in the club? This is the main. This is what we should do for ourselves, not the media, the media impact or the. So, what we accomplish in our clubs, what we achieve in our clubs, this had a huge impact in what we, what doors could open for us in the future.
So, because we have a successful story and. This is something that we are going to talk about before we wrap up soon. But many football followers in Saudi, they are so proud that Zlatko was in a small team in Saudi and he led his country to the final of the World Cup, I mean, in Croatia. So do you think, again, that would happen to one of you?
We are young. Everything can happen. But the thing is, like, we cannot plan anything. The past teach me that I cannot plan anything because I had a clear plan, growing, and then doing stuff. And then you do a good thing, but 2 months later they forget and they sack you. Then your plan, then you can throw your plan away and you have to find another plan. So of course we have the right to dream because anything can happen in football like that. Just you do a few good games. Some people watch the game, or you have a good agent who can introduce you to the right people, and everything can change like that in both directions, in the good or in the bad direction. So we can dream, and yes, it's possible, but we just have to work hard and to have a lot of luck.
Oh, good luck, both of you. So let us take some questions here. We have Mr. Hernandez. He said, what do you think is best way for a young European coach? He has, like you, B license, or A, to come to coach in KSA, sending CV? So George, Yannick, who wants to answer this?
Knowing the right people. knowing the right people, I think, because if I'm a football club, I receive a lot of CVs. Why should I do this one or this one? I think that the young coaches who wants to start somewhere, they have to go with someone. Like I had the luck to do 8 years ago. I followed Michel Prudhomme in Al Shabab, and that was a good line on my CV. Being with him in a successful year. For the young coaches, you cannot start like that to be a head coach. You have to coach the youth, or you have to be an assistant in the staff for a few years, and then maybe you will have the luck one day to show what you can as a head coach.
George, any advice for Mr. Hernandez?
My advice is to start coaching. Any team, any age, be on the pitch. That's it. Because without that, be on the pitch, get experience, get more years of experience in all kinds of levels of. So be on the pitch. It's my advice.
One of the things, like, we have some other comments that coming. So Mr. here Bruno, he said we have to see what coach can give the club, what is his ideas, and if he fits our clubs. So he's making a comment more than a question. So
Abdul, if you allow me, I should say something. When we were talking about the what we can achieve here in Saudi football, what will this experience give us for our CV? And I like to think that, as I said to you, I spent some days here, some phases through this season that it was really painful for me. And I like to think that this change in my work, this adaptation capacity that I had to develop, will be very important for me in the future, because here in Saudi I learned at the hardest way that the things should not always be as I want it to be. I cannot control everything. I want to do it, I aspire to do it, but I understand, I learn at the hardest way to learn that it will not be easy to control everything. So this upgrade in my leadership, I think it will be very useful for me in the future. And I think this is an important thing to say.
I am okay. Bring back Mr. Ferrera. Before we wrap up, so there is a misunderstanding of Saudi abroad in terms of football coaching. So do you think you have duty to explain to people back home, to professional communities, what the Saudi football is about, what the experience is about? Is it worth it or not? Fits projects, career plans for such coaches abroad? Do you think you have a duty for that? George, Yannick, let's start with Yannick.
I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people wants to follow our path. But anyway, I'm sure if someone asks me any question about how it is here, I can be very positive, because I feel a very positive experience. Despite the fact that we fight against relegation, I have a great experience here. So I can really explain what I'm living here. I can explain the difference between Europe and here, and I can I could definitely be very positive about the country and the football here to the people who would ask me.
So, but you are not going to show. You will wait to be asked, you think?
I mean, I will not go back to Belgium and ask the television, please invite me. I want to speak about.
No. But I mean, it's like a mission to carry on, to tell people about that, about your experience, because.
Yeah, but I did already, because I had already.
Sorry for interrupting, because what I thought from what you said, because if you move to Saudi, sometimes they said you are downgrading yourself, your career. Is that like a thing that you like to be seen at?
But I've been asked that question a few times already, because I've had a few interviews or online or just on the phone with some Belgian newspapers. And they ask me, yeah, come on, you go there for the money and it's not really good for your CV. And then I explain those people what I'm living here. I describe them how the dressing room is in Al Nassr when we play against Al Nassr in the Malas Stadium, because they don't realize the difference between that changing room, big, modern, and everything, with some changing rooms in Belgium. So yeah, I will. I spoke already a few times about how good it is here.
So George, how you can explain? Do you think you have duty to explain the situation, the coaching in Saudi, to professional communities back in Europe?
No, not at all. I think that there is some curiosity about how the things is going on here. There's most of all curiosity, but not to explain the thing. Because, for example, in Portugal, the two last champion league, the two coaches that won the two last champion league, the league in Portugal, Jorge Jesus, they come from Hilal, and Rui Vitória from Nasser. They come to Saudi Arabia. So in Portugal, for example, they of course follow the big five leagues in Europe, but there are the Chinese league, the Saudi league, and MLS, as I said. They follow a lot these three leagues. So it's not an invisible league in Saudi for European, especially for Portugal, you know.
Last questions. He is from Dr. Talal. He is with us in the association, but he seeking your advice. How and suggestion? How can Saudi League be presented to other countries, to do the outreach to other countries, still broadcasting rights? So it's like more technical stuff, but how can Saudi football present itself to Europe?
I think by starting to broadcast some of the big games in Europe, because if people in Europe see a full stadium of Al Hilal against Al Nassr, they will think, "Whoa, Saudi is not what we think," because people imagine Saudi as a big stadium but empty. No, go to watch games, and even in our club, that's not the biggest club here. We play in front of 13,000 people the last 3-4 home games. So they should show like some games of Al Hilal, Al Nassr, Al Wahda, Al Ahli, and people will start to realize how good this league is becoming.
Any advice, George, for Saudis?
Yes, I think it's important, a very important point, and I've been thinking a lot for several years. If I was president of a club, my main goal was to get the average attendance much more higher. This was my first goal if I was the club president, for example, because with the full stadium, everything comes more money, comes more people, comes more business between everybody. So this should improve here in Saudi. The global, the average attendance in the stadiums, not only for the teams who fight for the title, but also from the other clubs. Main point. The second point, of course, in Europe we are seeing this now, big problems for the clubs, because I don't know, but perhaps 80% of the clubs depend on the broadcast money, on the broadcasters' money, on the TV's money. And here in Saudi, we don't have that problem, because I don't know, but I believe that TVs for the clubs, they don't give nothing. So the money for the clubs doesn't come from the TVs. And it's a very different situation from Europe, because all the clubs in Europe depends on that money. So I don't know if the level and the competitiveness of this league could improve even more if the broadcaster rights give to the money more financial capacity. I don't know. Perhaps a suggestion.
Okay. So if there's any question, let me just check our comments box. So we answered. Yeah, we answered most of the questions. So if there is anything that you would like to say we missed to cover, just you have a minute each one. Yannick, we start with Yannick. You have less than a minute.
Just one thing to all the people to all the people who have never been here. Just before judging, come and spend a few weeks here. Come watch a few games here, and after that you can judge, not before.
Mr. George, Simao, any comment before we leave?
Well, for me it was a great experience, this chat with you, and this first online experience. For me it was a great experience. I think it was not bad at all. So in a moment like this, what I wish is that everybody keep safe, take care, and I hope to see you soon in a Saudi stadium. Bye.
So who's going to beat if we resume the league? So who's going to beat the another? So the next match is Wolverhampton Fat. So
we play home, so we might have an advantage.
So I think he needs more points.
But if the game we had to close doors, that advantage vanished.
Yeah. I hope that when we will play again, that it will be with fans, because we play football also for the fans. So I hope when we start again, whenever it is, I hope there will be fans. Really.
Okay. We leave you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Yannick Ferrera, thank you very much from Majma'a and Al Ahsa. All right. So thank you very much for watching this first episode from the Saudi Sport Marketing Association, the show called Sport Orbits. Be with us next time. It's going to be maybe in Arabic, but watch it and stay tuned. Thank you very much. Bye.